Hey, are you busy? I know it's late, but I couldn't help myself. I saw your light on and I needed to talk to you. You've been so quiet lately, and it's not like you. I've been worried. Is it okay if I sit down for a minute? Thank you. You're always so thoughtful. But tonight, something's different. You've been acting distant, like you're hiding something, and I think I know why. Earlier, I overheard you. I wasn't trying to listen, really, I wasn't, but I heard you through the vent. You were talking about my ex. You said her name. You said you were sorry, that it had to be done, that she was in the way. I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe I misheard, but then you avoided my eyes when we passed in the hall. And now, looking at you, I know it's true. Isn't it? So you're the one who got rid of her? You ended things with her because she was in the way? Because you love me? I should feel scared right now. I should be furious, maybe even horrified, but I'm not. Isn't that strange? I feel relieved. You probably think I'm crazy for saying that. Anyone else would be terrified. But I'm not like everyone else. And I think you're starting to realize that. Do you remember when we first met? When I moved into this building? It wasn't random. I picked this place because of you. I noticed you months before we spoke. I saw you one morning crossing the street to the corner store. You had your hoodie on, your headphones, and this faraway look in your eyes. You didn't notice me that day, but I noticed you. The way you looked at the world, like you were tolerating it. Barely. But then you smiled at the cashier, and it was like the sun broke through the clouds. From that moment, I couldn't stop thinking about you. I wanted to know everything about you. Where you lived, what you liked, how you spent your time. I even memorized your schedule, when you'd leave for work, when you'd come home, the way you always checked behind you on the stairs. Funny, isn't it? You were checking to make sure no one was following you, and all along, I was. So, I found this building. I made sure to get the apartment right next to yours. I thought it would make things easier to be close to you, to learn more about you. And it did. At first, I thought I was imagining things when I noticed how protective you were. The way you tensed up when I mentioned my ex or when I talked about people at work. I thought maybe you were just being sweet, a little jealous. But now I see it. You've been feeling the same way I felt this whole time. You're surprised, aren't you? You thought you were the only one hiding something, but I've been hiding too. Do you remember the clerk at the corner store? The one who called you cutie and always gave you that ridiculous little wink? I saw how uncomfortable it made you, even though you tried to brush it off. I couldn't stand it. The way she talked to you like she had a right to your attention. So, I handled it. I told her to leave you alone. I said if she didn't stop flirting with you, there'd be consequences. She laughed at me. She said I was being ridiculous. So, I made sure she wouldn't bother you again. You must think I'm horrible. Or maybe you understand. After all, you did something similar for me, didn't you? You got rid of my ex because she was a problem. You couldn't stand the idea of her being around me, trying to win me back. You and I were more alike than I realized. No, don't apologize, please. I don't want you to feel bad for what you did. You did it because you love me, right? And I did what I did because I love you. That's what makes us different from everyone else. They wouldn't understand this, but we do. Do you know what's funny? I thought I was being so careful, keeping my feelings hidden. I didn't want to scare you. I thought if you knew how obsessed I was, you'd run. But now I know you've been just as obsessed as I have. It's like fate, isn't it? Two people, both a little unhinged, finding each other. No one else would understand us, but we don't need anyone else. Listen to me. We're gonna be okay. No one knows what we've done. And even if they did, it wouldn't matter. We're in this together now. No more hiding. No more pretending to be normal. We can be honest with each other. We can trust each other. Oh, you don't know how much that means to me. To finally have someone who sees me for who I am and doesn't flinch. You're not afraid of me, and I'm not afraid of you. That's rare. So what do we do now? I guess we have to be careful. We can't draw attention to ourselves. We have to blend in, act like everything is normal. But behind closed doors, we'll know the truth. Maybe we should have a code word. Something simple in case we need to warn each other about anything. Like if someone starts asking too many questions or if there's a problem. Something innocent like, let's grab coffee, or did you see the weather today? That way we'll always be one step ahead. You have no idea how happy I am right now. I spent so long worrying that I'd scare you away, but instead, you've brought us closer. I don't have to hide anymore. I can be just yours. Thank you for trusting me, for loving me enough to do what you did. I don't care if the world thinks we're wrong or dangerous. They don't know what it's like to feel this way. They don't know what it's like to love someone so much that you'd do anything to protect them. But we do. From now on, we're a team. If anyone tries to come between us, they'll regret it. But I don't think anyone will. Because we're going to keep this bond strong. We're going to make sure no one ever doubts us. So, how about we go to my place? We can order some food, watch something dumb on TV, and just enjoy this moment. No more secrets, no more lies. Just you and me. Come on, let's go. I waited long enough to have you all to myself, and now that I do, I'm never letting go.